Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome to Newell's, last game of the season. We've got a chance of Copa Libertadores, not a good chance because of course as the kind of the tone of the second half of the season, I want your thoughts on this. Why is there always a drop off? I am not having that the opposition know your team, I'm not having that because there's loads of plug and play tactics where you can just plug the tactic in and blitz teams away. Why are we suffering in the second half of the season and in particular when it comes to the big games of the season? Alright everybody, here we are. So as you can see, the league table is looking not great. We've got one game to go. Now we are playing Racing Club at home, who are bottom. We are down on goal difference, 56. There's a chance that the teams below us, not so much below, well yeah, the teams below us, Banfield can go above us, but we can also catch Belgrano in 5th. 6th is the Copa Libertadores playoffs, so that's not ideal. 7th, we've obviously got a Copa Sudamerica, so we are playing continental football this year. Do you know what? I don't think I want 7th position. I don't think I want 6th position, sorry, because that 6th position gets the playoffs and we'll get drawn against probably a Brazilian team, get knocked out, and we don't earn more than a couple of £100,000. So, yeah, it's all down to us. As per usual, we had, the last episode's performance was brilliant, and then since then we've drawn, lost, won, lost, lost, drawn, won, and then last game we've just lost 5-0 at River Plate. So a bit of a shit show. However, there is some good news. I'm a little bit worried about a complete exodus at the end of the season. There is a whole host of players: Singolani, Caldera, Acevedo, Sordo, Nandalin, Fiera, who's on loan, and Mancano. All these players want at least double, triple their wages, and we can't afford it, especially when we just get Juan Sforza in. He wanted a new contract. We've extended that to the end of 2027. No release clauses either. He's had an exceptional season, so he is staying for the long term. The rest are not. I think the rest are probably sell-ons because finances are not great. As you can see, we've only got next season they're giving us £106,000, so we're going to have no wages, no money to spend, and then obviously losing a few players that are coming in are wanting bigger contracts than the players that we're kind of letting go. So it's a bit of a nightmare, really. You know, a lot of these players down here, even these ones, are wanting £3,000-4,000 a week, which causes a problem because we just ain't got it. We just ain't got it. Right, let's play today's game. We're going to talk about tactics at the end of the episode, I think. Let's talk about them now. So we're playing this 4-4-1-1. We've obviously got the other Bielsa one that we can kind of put in, which is the 4-1-4-1 with a few little tweaks. And then I'm looking at creating a 3 at the back. So next season we have 3 tactics all in one that we just kind of swap around and rotate a little bit more rather than just playing one all the way through the season and then swapping halfway because it isn't working. I'd like to be a little bit more fluid in our tactical approach. If I can just see it's just waning off a little bit, we just need to shift over to another tactic. So we're going to get 3 tactics training next season. But for now, we're just going to go back to the 4-1-1. There is issues to be had. We need to strengthen in so many areas as well. I don't know what the squad is going to look like in next week's episode because there's going to be lots of bloody changes for sure. Okay. Let's go and see if we can pick up a win and see if we can get that 5th place. The other teams have got decent enough games. I'm really disappointed with Barrios. Hasn't done anything for us, so we may look at, moving some of these on. Sordo as well is a player that I do like. He has flashes. He needs to be in the team today, but he wants loads of money. I'm not going to offer him a new deal in front of you because I want to wait till the end of the season, and hopefully by the end at the end of the season, at the end of December, another month, he'll be ready to talk to me again. If I try and offer him a new contract and he rejects me now, he's not going to want to talk to me in a month's time. So fingers crossed, in a month's time, he's happy to lower his demands. Nadlin as well has had a decent enough season. I would like to keep him, but he's wanting about £4,000-5,000 a week. It's massive. We've only got 3,000 left, and I'm having to offer it all on a right back. So yeah, that's a problem. Mamana's out for the rest of the season as well. He's broken his leg. So we need to we'll try and shift on players like Munoz potentially, and we just need some better youngsters coming through. Freites has not had a great season, so we need to strengthen at left back because the other left backs, Campagnaro, has not kicked on at all and has really struggled in the games this season. He is now 20 as well, and he's not kicked on. So he's not going to be our left back option. He's going to be probably a backup at left midfield next year. And then obviously losing Angel as well, massive loss in the central midfield. We are going to give Kaki a go in central midfield just to try and change it up a little bit. We need better quality out on the right. And Samelo as well, he's doing it all. We've got no other strikers apart from him. So we need to try and bring in a striker that can really push him. 13 goals as well in 36 ain't good enough, is it? What's our XG? Because this was the issue last year. Our XG wasn't great at all. So expected goals 50, goals 55. So maybe we need to create a few more bloody chances. What's the XG of the striker and Sanelno? And that'll give us a good vibe whether it's him or we're not providing him with enough chances. Okay, his XG is 12.54. He's only scored 13, so we need to be a little bit more aggressive, I think, next year. I don't know how we do that at the moment. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Right, let's play Racing, the bottom of the league. Let's get this bloody game won and see where we end up. As said, we may get lucky if we finish 6th. We may get lucky, get Copa Libertadores and get a nice little route into the group stages. But first round, there was 2 qualifying rounds, and straight away we got a Brazilian team. So we can't have that. If it's anybody else, any of the other nations will be fine. I think we'll get through no problem. But playing a Brazilian team is just not what you want. Obviously, Racing are bottom, but remember, this league has been split into 2. So it isn't as if they are bottom of the bottom. They're a mid-table team, but have really struggled playing against the bigger sides. Right, here we go, boys. Come on. We'll keep an eye on the scores. Oh, the rest of the scores are actually, a lot of games are finishing tomorrow. So we'll get our job done, and then we'll have to hold on for 24 hours and say, he looked way off. Okay, we've got the ball. Sordo. Anselmo is in. He's got nothing. There was nothing there. Do we maybe go 2 up? To be fair, the tactic is going to have to go around what our squad looks like next season. We haven't got... There is some really exciting young players. They just aren't developing as good as what I want. And the real good ones are still sort of like 16, 17. We may be brave and just have to go with it next year and have a backup of players that are going to be absolute superstars and maybe push them ahead of the pecking order a little bit rather than having these 19, 20-year-olds. These 19, 20-year-olds that are a little bit, are not the superstars, are not going to be that sell-on value, are not going to be a Castro, are not going to be a Sforza. We maybe look at bringing in the 16, 17-year-olds a little bit early. A little bit of a risk, but we maybe need to do something different. And also, if we get Copa Sudamericana, Copa Libertadores, our schedule becomes hectic. It will be Saturday, Wednesday for a lot of games, for a lot of months in the season. Get in, Castro. What a finish. He's only scored 4 goals this season, so I'm hoping I can get him out of the door in January. So January for Europe, fingers crossed, we get him out of the door and maybe shift on. 5 million would be absolutely lovely. Okay, we're 1-0 up. Our second choice striker at the moment is Newell'S as well, and he's nowhere near good enough. Castro is in again. Shot across the keeper. Decent save. They've not even had a shot on goal yet, which makes me happy, but at the same time nervous, as it's Football Manager. Kakayubo finds Sforza, finish Mummy Sforza. Oh, he tried to slip it underneath the goalkeeper. Come on, we need that second goal. Maggie heads it onto himself. Fretes is going to get that. Nice and calm, buddy. Into Kakayubo, Mansilla. Look after the ball. There we go. Munoz, Mansilla. Sforza, Fretes, Sforza again, into Anselmo's, come off really deep. So that's the problem. Castro may get there, he doesn't. When Anselmo drops off, we kind of lose that central figure. Sforza stepped in, get in. 2-0, we don't need that central figure if Sforza's making runs like that. Just sometimes though, our play gets quite condensed. Very similar to what Man United's sort of like heat map looked like against Brentford. It was very condensed, high line, but no one really breaking the lines. We've had that a few times this year with the average position, so we just need to try and make sure, I don't know, maybe do we go poacher for the striker and just tell him he needs to stay up there and wait for chances rather than dropping off maybe a little bit. but then his movement as a presser does often drag a defender out and makes it easier for Sforza and Castro to go into. So there's things to think about. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do we do with the striker? Do we just put him as a poacher? Tell him just to wait for the ball? See, at the moment, he's here. He's here. He's not helping us here. He's not an out ball. We need him up here for him to work the channels a little bit. He's working the channels now, I suppose. Sordo. Kakiablu. Out to Nadalin. Could be his last game for the club. Gonzalez. Cross. Sordo's there. He should have scored. It should have been 3, but it's better. We're playing well. We've absolutely battered them. Right, Castro. It may be a case where we can keep the same tactic and we just have better players. You know, Gonzalez on the right-hand side. I'll just show you in a minute. Castro, I'll have a look at average ratings, actually, after this game's finished. Gonzalez has lost it. Kakiabu. Munoz. Castro. We're playing well. We've played really well today. We're not getting enough, I don't think, from our wide players. Mancilla, Sforza, Kakiablu, Castro, Gonzalez, Kakiablu. Unlucky. 35, nearly 36,000 at home, though. So we're getting a little bit of money in terms of tickets, but not enough. We're up in 5th at the moment, so we're going to be relying on results from Belgrano and our rivals, Rosario. There we go. Right, let's speed on first. Let's see how the others do, and then we'll have a quick little discussion about what's going to happen going forward. Okay, so it's actually doing our season results. So 14 in 40 isn't enough, is it? Is it enough? So we really need to work on service to the front man, creating more chances. That's an absolute key thing for next season. I think we're going to try and dominate the ball maybe a little bit more, maybe lower the tempo a little bit, see if that helps us create better opportunities for him. Mamana's come in with a solid 7. Munoz, I'm going to try and move on, I think. And Barrios, I think we're going to have to keep, We're going to have to keep players like that because we aren't going to have the luxury of bringing better players in. Right. There's been a result. I'm going to speed on quickly because somebody has lost. Right. We've got a new 2-year deal, finances-wise, for the stadium, which is good. Initial budget, they've got 100,000. Transfer budget, wage budget of 100 grand. How much are we spending? Okay, these players leaving. There's going to be about 10,000 to work with, which in much 3 million. We've made a profit of 2.4 million, but we did sell a lot of players this year. We need probably Castro to move on, Right, here are the games. As you can see, there was a defeat for Godoy Cruz, who kicked off later than us in the day, and Belgrano got absolutely smashed. So at the moment, we are 5th. We are getting Copa Libertadores football one way or the other, but it may be the stinky qualifying round, which will be a disaster. I will do that as a live game next week if we have to go through the qualifying. Let's find out. We're relying on our rivals, Rosario. Are they going to beat us to the last place? They've lost. Yes! They've lost. They've finished 5th. That means we get group stage. Is that right? Please don't do this to me. 5th place is group stage Copa Libertadores, which does mean a little bit of money. Group stage. £2.15 million for qualifying for the competition. So that in itself is massive. Plus 6 extra games. And obviously it goes up, but, we're in the group stage, so we're going to get 2.15 million out of it to start with. That'll do. I don't know if there's any TV money. Be interested to know if there's any TV money. And also, if we finish 3rd in the group, we get the Copa Sudamerica place as well. So that would be potential earnings. So if we can finish 3rd in our group, and that also means that we may be able to attract some better players. All right. Now, very quickly, before we finish, I want to just show you the team's performance this season in terms of average ratings. What do we need to look at? I think it's definitely the attacking area, isn't it? Mancano wants to, he wants a new deal, but he's already on 4,600. So we'll see where that goes. I'm going to try and find a replacement. Esmelmo's done okay. Sforza, 24 goals in 39 appearances. Absolute legend. The issue that we've got is that our wide players haven't contributed. An average rating of 6.76. Where is Gonzalez? 6 assists for the season. We need a little bit more from our wide midfielder. He is only 22, so he will stay with the club. He's another worry because next year his contract is out. He's going to probably want triple his wages as well. So it's an ongoing problem here at Newell's, but we've made it into the Copa Libertadores. So next week's episode, which is Wednesday, we may have some Copa Libertadores action for you. We will also do the Newell's shirt giveaway that we did on episode 1. We will have that. We'll have the winner announced on Wednesday's video. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Up the Newell's. See you later.